Welcome back to my channel. This time I'll have a look at a very cheap analog camera that I think could be a good option for beginners in analog photography. This camera is available sometimes on eBay for as little as €5 or around $5 also. Even sometimes with a lens like this. This is a 35 to 105 millimeter. So let's get on with it. Why do I think this camera, the Canon EOS 1000 FN, could be a very good beginner's camera if you're just going into analog photography? Well, I'll tell you about it. This camera has aperture priority, shutter priority and program mode, and you can also run it totally manually. So you can have all the modes that are usually used within photography, and that's quite nice. If you set it to shutter priority, you can set the shutter time and you'll have a display up here where you can see what shutter times you set, and you can set it to between half a minute on down to 1/2000th of a second. That's quite a short shutter time for such a cheap camera, but it does that quite well. Also, if you use aperture priority, you set the aperture on this control ring up here, and you can see it up in the status display again what aperture value you have set. And then when you look through the viewfinder, you have a nice little display that shows you what the shutter time the camera chooses for you when you're in manual exposure. This lens is not the most normal lens for this camera. Usually it comes with a 35 to 80 millimeter, but that's also a very nice lens. And I'll show you examples from both these lenses and show you the sharpness of these lenses, how good they actually are. And to prove my point, I'll actually use them on a very high resolution modern camera, my Hasselblad X2D, and of course I will shoot it in 24 by 36 mode, so you can see the sharpness of the images. But let's have a look at some images from this camera. Film is quite easy. You can almost do it single-handed. Well, almost. I have to pull it across to here. This okay. As soon as you put that on, it's the right thing. Anyway. you have to shoot the film backwards. I'm not totally a fan of this, but it has some advantages. If you accidentally open the back of the camera, you only ruin the rest of the film, not the images that you have exposed, because they will be wound into the cartridge. And when you shoot the last image on this camera, it rolls back the film into the canister. As you can hear. There we go. To give you a little more detail about this camera, it is powered by a battery that is called 2CR5, and these batteries, they last almost forever. When you have this in your camera, you can shoot like 50 36 exposure films before it runs out. Of course, if you use the built-in flash, which you have to pop up manually, it'll run out faster, because this also uses somewhat of the battery. But it runs for a long time on the battery, so it's very cheap. It has a motor inside, and when you load the film, it winds all the way to the end. That means the film is rolled up on the take-up spool, and then it takes it back. Every time you take a frame, it takes one image back into the cassette, meaning that if you accidentally open the back of the camera, only the rest of the film will be spoiled, not the images that you have taken already, because they're inside the cassette, so they're safe. That's quite a good thing. I'm not always a fan of this. I like manual respooling, so I can respool the film only until it's lets go of the take-up spool, because then you can actually change and put another film into the camera. But you can't do this with this one. When it rewinds the film, it goes all the way into the cassette, so you can't get it out again. But that's a minor detail. Otherwise, it works just fine. And this camera that I got for almost nothing, like I said, €5, with a lens, has worked without any kind of troubles. And I've shot quite a number of films, so I'm very pleased with this. And I think that the quality of these lenses that come with it, they're quite good compared to what you see on many digital low-end cameras. The kit lens is not very good on them, but these lenses are actually live up to the camera. You must think about that this is film, so any optical errors are not as visible as they are on high-resolution digital cameras. But I'll show you this with these examples shot on my high-resolution Hasselblad X2D. And I was surprised to see how sharp this lens is. Here at 35mm, there's a bit of vignetting in the corners of the image, but sharpness is okay in the middle. There's a bit of low contrast, but f8 is much better here. And if we look at the f16, diffraction is setting in, but it's still very good sharpness. So let's move to the corner, and here we see that sharpness is not very good at 35mm and wide open. f8 is somewhat better, but not really good. And f16 is quite good, so you have to use f16 if you want to get sharpness all over the frame. Let's move to 105mm, and there's no vignetting here. That's really awesome. Let's look at sharpness. Sharpness is not as good as at 35mm at wide open, but at f8 it's quite good, and contrast is also decent. f16 is also sharp despite diffraction. And if we move to the corner, we see that even wide open sharpness is pretty good. f8 is better and maybe the best here. Or let's see about f16. Actually f16 is very good, so good sharpness all over the frame here at 105mm. So I hope you like this small, let's call it a review of the Canon EOS 1000 FN. A cheap, very cheap camera that is quite sturdy and is a good beginner's option. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and also hit the like button on this video. But this was all for this time. Bye for now.